Welcome to Brunch with Brian, and it's Friday, so that means it's Formal Dining Room Friday. Here we are in the Formal Dining Room, and it's also Foundation Friday, like I like to talk about, which means that you're setting the foundation for a constructive, productive weekend. There's just nothing like that feeling of being productive. I'll tell you, that's probably my favorite, that's one of my favorite feelings because it leads to feelings of good self-esteem, positive self-esteem. So that's what I like about being productive. So there's just nothing like feeling like proud of yourself, like I had a great day. I really performed well. And that comes from everything from your day at work, your day at your real estate investing, your day on the phone, your day on the pickleball courts. We're playing more and more pickleball. And yes, you kind of come home from a pickleball session. You think, well, am I proud of myself for today? And yes, I am. And so that's what you want to think about yourself after you have a week, after your whole week is done. You want to say, okay, I'm proud of my effort this week. I'm proud of my action taking this week. And that means, and I'm always going to say the minimum your investment is 4 hours a week. 4 focused hours a week will give you huge progress over time. So, yes, you can do more, and I often will say the number 7 to 10 hours a week. Yes, that would be great if you could put that much time in. But let's get real. You can't do that maybe every week. But if you do 4 concerted hours a week and you're doing things intelligently and you have things automated to some degree, you can make some pretty good progress, doing that every week. Now the primary use of that time is being on the phone and going out on appointments or just getting out into the field. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. We talked about Foundation Friday. And so I want to talk about what do you want to be doing this weekend if you don't have appointments or if you don't have, now let's face it, everybody here could call Zillow, start calling on Zillow, even on the listed properties, and find ones that are listed over 30 days or have a price reduction, and set up an appointment to go look at a property with a realtor, or talk to a FSBO, see what you can work out. Remember, we've got those scripts. That's the beautiful thing about approaching people with a creative financing solution, is that you can make the first connection. You can make an opening call. So you can always call realtors with that listing realtor opening call. That's one action you can always take, and that will lead to appointments. And then, of course, the FSBO opening call, you can all do that as well. And of course, you can do the landlord opening call, which we talked about last week. It was our landlord week, and that sometimes leads to property manager calls. If you do need that property manager call, I'm just making that available. I know a couple of you had requested that, so I'm sending that out. I think Donald, you had requested it, and so I want to get it out to you. WL, good to see you this morning. Good morning, everybody. Caleb, great to see you, everybody. So anything special going on, guys, let me know. Great to catch us live. Yes, Jan, always great to see you live. So let's focus this weekend on driving for dollars. Okay, so let's say yes, you can call realtors. Yes, you can call FSBOs. Yes, you can call landlords, and maybe you can set up an appointment for tomorrow. But if I also want you to, and if you do have an appointment, let's go to that same area. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Okay. So you can go to that same area and do some driving for dollars. And so that's, what does driving for dollars mean? You've heard the phrase 100 times. What is effective driving for dollars? What does that mean? Well, it means driving around in an efficient way, okay, and not in a haphazard way. If you just start saying, oh, I think I'll just do a Sunday drive around this area and check it out, pretty soon you find yourself driving down the same street 3 times, and there's 2 streets that you missed. Okay, so I want you to do it like a grid pattern. Let's do it like an engineer would do it. So now sometimes it's a little bit tricky because streets are laid out in weird angles and curves and those sort of things. If you have a nice, neighborhood laid out on a grid pattern, it's super easy. You just go down one street, down this street, down that, up that street, down that street, up that street, and you just make sure you hit every single street. Now, when you're doing that, you can take notes, and you should be writing down any property that you see that you suspect is vacant. Okay, so if it's got newspapers in the driveway, if it's got overgrown landscaping, broken window, anything, if it looks like there's nobody living there, no cars are there, obviously that's ringing all your bells. So you're taking down that address. Now, there's some software programs that you can very quickly take that address, put it into this software program, and it'll give you lots of information about it. You can even put it in Zillow. You can put any address in Zillow. If everybody has Zillow, and you can even Google addresses. And sometimes you'll have, just try that once. Try Googling your own address. And you know what? Sometimes Google Earth is a really cool view. If you're looking at properties at a distance, and you want to really get a view of it that's better than the street view. Now, when you go on Zillow, you're going to be able to look at this cool street view, which really does give you a pretty good sense of the neighborhood. But if you do the Google Earth, it's actually a 3D shot, and you can kind of 3D. It's almost like a drone circling the house is what it's like. It's that cool. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. So check out Google Earth. If you want to check out a property, check your own house out on Google Earth and do that thing where you go all the way around with the 360. So now, if you're out in the neighborhood, driving up and down the streets in a grid pattern, I want you to keep track of where you went, because that way you are efficient and you can go to another area next time. So you can say covered everywhere from, Greenfield to Maine, and all the way from 59th Street all the way to 80th Street. And how long does it take to cover a big lot of territory? Not that long. Now, here's another thing I want you to look up, even before you go out there. Now, before you go out there, if you do manage to get an appointment or have a for sale by owner house to look at, or find an open house. Okay, so excuse me. So look for an open house where wherever you're going to drive around, and open houses are great. Sometimes you can actually look on Zillow and they'll have open houses specifically. You can do searches for open houses, and you can do searches for open houses on the MLS if you have an agent. Actually, any open houses that's posted in the MLS, hopefully it's all that information is supposed to translate over to Zillow. So you should be able to find any open houses on Zillow. But look in the newspaper and, look at signs and that kind of thing. So drive the areas and stop at open houses, talk to everybody at the open house, and make sure you have business cards with you, and make sure you're always telling everybody you talk to, that if they send you a seller or buyer that you help, you'll pay them how much? $1,000. Who got that one right? Right? $1,000. So I want you guys to be giving out your cards to all the people that you meet out in the neighborhoods, and I want you to meet neighbors. So as you're driving for dollars, what if you happen to see somebody out working on their car? Okay. Now, if you can do it in a non-threatening way, hopefully you're driving a normal car, not some big souped up pickup that looks kind of black and scary, but just like a normal vehicle, and you dress in a nice business-like fashion. This is why you don't drive for dollars in jeans and a torn t-shirt. Okay. You actually drive for dollars looking like a real estate agent would dress, nicely attired. That way, when you see people out there, you can stop and you can give them your business card. And what's your one question you ask everybody that you can get in front of you? Do you know anybody who's thinking about buying or selling their house in the neighborhood? We pay full price, and we work out really cool deals with people. We can buy right away, instant sale, and we pay full price. So remember, that's our number one appeal, full price for your house for sellers. And now there's some sellers out there that the house has been on the market a while because the market is shifting. And actually, there was just some housing report out today about how housing prices have been finally starting to soften. It's going down. So you got more motivated sellers out there in the marketplace. So get out there. And garage sales, don't forget that. Boy, if you see a garage sale, screech, or sign, get over to that garage sale. And that would be worthy of your time, is just doing garage sales. Maybe you like doing garage sales anyway. So get out there and see a bunch of garage sales. Every time you stop at a garage sale, definitely whoever, start passing out cards to people, ask them if they're from the neighborhood. Now, so you sort of got to, it's a little bit, there's some politics there because, the garage sale is being conducted by somebody and they're bringing the people in. And if you're working their crowd that they brought in with their signs, they might have a little qualms about it. So when you're at a garage sale, the first person you should go to is, oh, hi, Joe. Or hi, are you running this your garage sale? Hi, I'm Brian. I'm actually, I buy and sell houses all around this area. You've probably seen our signs. Oh, here's my card. Yeah. So actually, you know what? We pay $1,000 if you, we've been real active with everything going on in real estate lately. So if you sell us a seller or buyer that we help, we'll pay you $1,000. It says it right there on the card. So that's great. And so, and then you just kind of say, so how long? You can just chat them up. There's a million things to talk to somebody about at a garage sale. They've got their whole life is laid out there, right? And so you can ask them about, what they're selling, what, when the garage sale is, and then you can kind of start walking around and then bumping into people at the garage sale and talking to other people. So again, if they already know you're there and you already gave them your card, and then they see you giving a card to someone else, usually they're going to be okay with it. Now, if you're just, secretively kind of working their crowd behind their back and they don't even know who you are and they see you giving cards out, they're not going to probably be crazy about that. So that's why when you're doing a garage sale, that's a good way to kind of go to the person who's running it first. Now, these are some really good tips that I want you guys to use to get out there this weekend, and you can get yourself going with Foundation Friday. Maybe make some calls, try to get an appointment. And if you don't have one, though, getting out there, driving for dollars, stopping at garage sales, and also anybody you see, so long as you don't you don't see someone out walking their dog and you slam on their brakes and leap out of your car and scare them. That's the one thing about that is approaching people, on the street. If you're a big man and they're, a nice lady walking their dog or something, you have to be a little careful about freaking people out. But, mostly that's why I say dress nice, look nice. Don't come at people too quickly. Make sure you're meandering. You can even have your card in your hand as you're kind of walking up and they can see, oh, they're just holding a business card there. So again, but getting out there in the field is a great idea. And you can really start to make connections in your farm area and get the word out that you pay this $1,000 referral fee. I mean, that's really important. People will definitely take you up on that. Yes, our best deals have come from driving for dollars. Good job, Charles. And guys, maybe you even know some houses in your area already. Thanks, Brian. Very encouraging. Well, thank you. I sure do try. So guys, let's all get encouraged. Let's all take action. That's what it takes. Sometimes you got to get your faith built up a little bit, and then that faith leads to action. Learning and plus faith plus desire leads to you taking action, and taking action, enough action leads to getting good results. So awesome session today. I went a little bit long. I wasn't sure how deep I was going to go on that, but it was very helpful and useful stuff. So I'm glad we did it. So I love driving for dollars. Let's say that for today. I love driving for dollars. That's our affirmation for today. We always say it 3 times on 3. I love driving for dollars on 3. 1, 2, 3. I love driving for dollars. I love driving for dollars. I love driving for dollars. Yes. Awesome. So do some effective driving for dollars. Don't forget that grid pattern. Keep track of where you've gone and make sure you're writing down any, distressed property, any for sale by owner property with a little sign in front of the yard. Obviously, you would know that would be an ideal candidate for you to call. And listed properties too. Now, we also call on listed properties if they're right in our target market. And even if it's only been newly listed, sometimes we'll call on those and make connections with those realtors, because those realtors are the ones that are working that area. So you're calling, not just distressed properties on driving for dollars, not just taking notes on those, also anything for sale by owner, and also all the listed properties that you can be calling on those as well. Okay. All right. So let's do our deep breathing. 3 deep breaths in, nice deep breath in. Always with a big smile. And then let it go. Relax your shoulders and your neck. Okay, another deep breath in. Usually we breathe in through our nose and then out through your mouth. Usually I like to hold it a little bit too, and even take in a little bit extra and a little bit extra. Boy, you do this, it's such an invigorating little exercise. I call it my refresher. So anytime you need a little refresher during the day, you have to grab a can of soda, do some deep breathing and smiling. You don't have to just do 3 either. You can do like 10 deep breaths, but we only have time to do 3. So one more, deep breath in. Hold it a little bit and let it go. Always don't forget to put that nice smile on your face, smile therapy that keeps you in a good mood. And so just stick with it. And until I see you next week on Monday, keep expecting success, getting awesome training, taking lots of action, and getting out this weekend driving for dollars. So great to see you guys. Great. Hey, you say you appreciate me. Well, I appreciate you too. I appreciate every one of you. And I love seeing you here on Brunch with Brian. So we'll see you on Monday. Have a great week.